In 2007, Nokia controlled nearly half of the global mobile phone market. The Finnish company was worth tens of billions of dollars, sold hundreds of millions of phones every year, and looked completely unstoppable. It seemed impossible to imagine a world without Nokia. But just a few years later, everything collapsed. One of the greatest technology empires in history fell apart. The company sold its mobile phone business and became one of the biggest examples of corporate failure the tech world had ever seen. This is the story of how overconfidence, internal bureaucracy, and a series of costly decisions destroyed Nokia's dominance. The story began in 1865 in Finland. An engineer named Fredrik Idestam founded a small paper mill near the Nokian Virta River. Over the next century, Nokia constantly reinvented itself. The company produced paper, rubber boots, car tires, cables, and many other products. Everything changed toward the end of the 20th century. The company's leadership realized that wireless communication was the future. Nokia gradually sold off its old businesses and invested heavily in telecommunications. In 1987, the company introduced one of the world's first portable mobile phones, laying the foundation for what would become the mobile revolution. During the 1990s, as the mobile phone market exploded, Nokia focused on simplicity, reliability, and durability. While competitors tried to build more complicated devices, Nokia made phones that were easy to use and built to last. Legendary models like the Nokia 3210 and the Nokia 3310 sold hundreds of millions of units worldwide and became cultural icons. By the early 2000s, Nokia had become the undisputed king of the mobile industry. The company wasn't just leading the market, it was shaping the future of mobile technology. Everything changed in January 2007. Apple introduced the very first iPhone. Nokia's leadership made its first major mistake by failing to take it seriously. The executives believed that customers would never give up physical keyboards. The iPhone was expensive, lacked several basic features, and looked more like an experiment than the future. While Nokia continued improving its traditional phones, Apple was creating an entirely new category of devices. Soon, another powerful competitor entered the race. Google introduced Android, a free operating system that manufacturers could use to build smartphones. Companies like Samsung and HTC quickly embraced Android and began releasing modern touchscreen devices at an incredible pace. Nokia, however, stayed loyal to its aging Symbian operating system. Symbian had once been an industry leader, but it had become slow, outdated, and difficult for developers to build apps for. As app stores became more important, customers no longer bought phones just for making calls or sending text messages. They wanted apps, internet access, cameras, and a complete digital ecosystem. At the same time, Nokia was facing serious internal problems. Different departments constantly argued with each other, and important decisions took months instead of days. The company's market share started falling rapidly. In 2010, former Microsoft executive Stephen Elop became Nokia's new CEO. He warned employees that the company was in serious trouble and needed radical change. Nokia decided to abandon Symbian, but instead of adopting Android, the company partnered with Microsoft and chose Windows Phone. That decision turned into a disaster. Developers weren't interested in building apps for a platform with very few users. Without enough apps, customers weren't interested in buying Lumia smartphones. It became a vicious cycle that Nokia simply couldn't escape. Then, in September 2013, the unimaginable happened. Nokia announced that it was selling its mobile phone business to Microsoft for about $7 billion. The deal failed to save either company. Just a few years later, Microsoft admitted defeat, wrote off billions of dollars in losses, and effectively abandoned its smartphone ambitions. But Nokia itself did not disappear. After selling its phone division, the company completely reinvented its business. Today, Nokia is one of the world's leading suppliers of telecommunications equipment and 5G network infrastructure. Meanwhile, Nokia-branded phones eventually returned to the market through a licensing agreement with HMD Global. However, the company never regained its former dominance. Nokia didn't fall simply because Apple or Samsung were stronger. It fell because it reacted too slowly to a rapidly changing world. Its greatest enemy wasn't the competition, it was its own inability to adapt. The story of Nokia is a powerful reminder for every business. No company stays on top forever. If you stop changing faster than the industry around you, the future will eventually leave you behind. Do you think Nokia could have remained the market leader if it had adopted Android earlier? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more incredible business stories. This is The Rise Lab. See you in the next story.